Welcome back, troglodytes, to the Trogly's Guitar Show. Yeah, what's a BC Rich doing on this channel? Well, it's actually not the first time I've had a BC Rich on the channel. I had a 1980 Rich Bich before, and it was quite the guitar. Obviously, I had no idea really how to play it. What was unique about that one is the top 4 strings were doubled instead of the usual bottom 4. Some people thought that was cool, some people didn't. That's just kind of a thing, and now we have this one. So this thing, I believe, is a 2000 BC Rich Floyd Rose 7-string pointy Custom Shop BC Rich. This body style for BC Rich is called the Warlock. Besides that 10-string, the only other BC Rich guitar I've had was a Trace Warbeast. And a Warbeast is basically this part of a Warlock and then the upper part of a Beast. And honestly, I didn't know BC Rich made high-end guitars until I had that one from 1980. I always associate BC Rich with being really cheap bolt-on neck guitars, but they do make higher-end custom shop quality stuff, as well as a very nice standard lineup. So I think personally I've underestimated this company and what they can produce. Now, I'm not a 100% expert on BC Rich models, but I will try to show you a little bit about BC Rich guitars. But this is more of a novice 6-string guitar player's reaction to a 7-string monster. Now, this was kind of a learn-as-I-go type situation, and my first quest was finding the serial number. It's not like a Fender, there's no serial number kind of on the bridge. I didn't see one on like the face of the headstock or the back of the headstock, or even, kind of by like the neck plate where it would be. I could not find a serial number anywhere on this guitar. But if you ever find yourself in this situation on a custom shop BC Rich, it's right here, right on the last fret of the fretboard. It's stamped in there ever so lightly, so you don't always see it there. But this one, the serial number is 20411. Now, BC Rich serial numbers, from what I could tell online, the first 2 signify the year for anything made before 2000. So in this case, that would make this a 1920 made BC Rich. I don't think this guitar existed in the 1920s, and I don't think it existed in 2020 because we're not there yet. So I guess what BC Rich does now is the 2 signifies like 2000, and then the last digit signifies the year. So this one is 2000. Now this guitar does have a few switches on here. This is your normal toggle switch. This appears to be your volume knob. It's there, that way you can do some volume swells if you need to. I couldn't figure out what this thing was. It's very loose, but I really couldn't tell that it's even hooked up or it does anything. This guy right here is a master tone knob. And this thing, I'm really not sure either. What it sounds like to me is like one of those Gibson 15 decibel boost switches. Because when you push this on, this is the on position and the down, it really just overdrives your sound and it sounds really good. Now when you flip it up, the guitar sounds weak. It's almost like a coil split, but I don't think that's exactly what it's doing. And then there's 4 holes on this guitar. Now the guys that dropped this off to me, they thought maybe there were some switches on here at one point in time. And after looking at that other BC Rich, I thought, well, maybe, but these don't look like anything were ever in there. And there's no backplate access, so that told me that that's probably not right. I think this is just a semi-hollow chamber in this guitar. Now this is a licensed Floyd Rose by BC Rich. I don't know a lot about tremolo systems, but I've always heard stay away from licensed ones and only get, the exact Floyd Rose. I mean, knowing it's a custom shop quality, I'm sure it's good enough, but this guitar definitely needs the tremolo fully set up. Now these pickups, as you can see, they're larger than your normal pickups because, well, you're on a 7-string model now. You have to have a larger pickup. But the very first thing you notice playing a 7-string is, well, the neck is wider. These are very thin necks this way, but they're very wide feeling because you have to have enough room for a bottom B string now. So a standard tuning for a 7-string guitar is just your normal guitar strings with an added B on the bottom. Now obviously 7 strings are meant for like death metal type players, as well as very accomplished like jazz players or soloists that they need the extra strings because they're playing like 2 or 3 different parts with just 2 hands and 1 guitar. You have 4 tuners on this side and 3 on the other, and you have the BC Rich kind of custom shop emblem, I'm guessing that is. The lower end BC Riches, they fully spell out BC Rich, but I found on these higher end ones, they just have that R on them. So my initial reactions to this thing is, wow, this wide neck really takes some getting used to. It's not quite as comfortable to play as a normal guitar, but maybe that's just because my hand is used to making this shape to play guitar instead of this shape. So I'm guessing that's something you can just really get used to, and I think it would help you develop proper technique of having your thumb on the bottom. So I think there are pros and cons to having a 7-string guitar in your arsenal. However, I would want one that doesn't have a Floyd Rose and all this locking business because I'm just not trained in that technique. I don't use these Floyds, and all that happens is I like to rest my hand on the bridge, and this is what happens. You're basically just using your hand as a whammy bar when you don't want to. So is a 7-string guitar for everyone? No, probably not, but I can definitely see why some people do enjoy them. This guitar would not stay in tune due to the poor setup, therefore I only demoed it through the Marshall JMP 1. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the condition of this guitar. The face of the headstock, it's in pretty good shape. You've got some general light wear and tear to it, but it's mainly just dust. I really didn't clean this guitar because I was too scared to break a guitar string on it. So I would definitely suggest having somebody restring this whole thing and set the tremolo unit the correct way. There are a few slight imperfections from dings around the edges, but for the most part, I would say this guitar is clean with just average light play wear. Part of your setup, you're going to want to adjust the truss rod. I didn't have the correct one to do that. It does have a bow in it, but it's not like crazy bow or anything. It'll definitely be fixed by adjusting the truss rod. Now, I'm not going to say what this fretboard is made of because I really don't know. They could use some rich light material, but I'm guessing it's ebony. It looks ebony, and you have these kind of interesting diamond inlays and the double diamond there. These are definitely jumbo frets of some nature. They're definitely very large frets. Now, the face of this guitar is actually in pretty good shape. It's got fingerprints and smudges simply because it's black. I did clean this guitar, but hey, now we're here in this condition again. It's a lot better than when I first got it though. But you have a few light nicks and dings here or there. And besides that, I mean, the guitar is fairly clean. I don't think it's been played a lot. Unfortunately, there was no trem bar in the case, so you'll have to get one to replace that. Back of the headstock, once again, you have a few small dings like right up here on the top of the headstock. And a few light scuffs, but that's pretty natural, I would think, for a very big pointy guitar. At least we don't have like this part missing off the headstock or anything. But as you can see, just light wear and tear. And this neck, once again, very wide but very thin at the same time. I would hate to see a 50s styled neck profile on a guitar like this. A baseball bat neck with this wide of a neck, wow, that would be a real man's guitar right there. But what is unique about this guitar is this heel. It is a neck-through guitar, so they don't have to worry about sanding all this wood off here because it's going to be solid no matter what, because this neck literally goes all the way down to here. If I get it in the light just right, you can see where the other pieces of wood are kind of joined onto the body. There, you can kind of see that line right there. So this makes it so you can get easy access to all the frets. It just kind of hugs your hand, but you're all the way up here and you easily can get to any note you want. So sweet pick away, my friends. Now your first strap button is up here. And then your other one is actually on the body of the guitar, which I thought was a little weird, but I'm sure that helps stabilize it. Now you have some scuffs and light fingerprint smudges, but again, overall, this guitar is fairly clean. You can see right here where a strap is making some circles on it though. The sides of the guitar also have just your general wear and tear. I would say for a pointy guitar, it's in pretty good shape. You can see once again some light scuffing. However, I'm not seeing any like huge nicks or dings out of these guitars like you'll sometimes find. I think right here is one of the main places where the finish actually got broken a little bit, but a little bit of a touch-up pen or something and that would be gone. Now this guitar is able to be blacklighted, so we will go ahead and do the blacklight test. This would show us if there were any repairs on the guitar or finish touch-ups. It looks like the face of the headstock is good. It's got this nice even green glow, which is what we're really looking for on this test. Same thing with the body. This is where we would see if a little piece of this guitar got chipped off and glued back on and touched up, but thankfully we don't have any of that on this guitar. As you can see here, the face of the guitar is in good shape. And oh my goodness, guys. This is what I've been talking about forever that you need to do as a safety feature for your guitar. This is signed in blacklight marker, and I am just now seeing this. So in regular lighting right here, even when I get the light on it, you can't even see that. Not there at all. But now underneath blacklight, you can see it. And there is no way you can get rid of that unless you refinish the guitar. This is a very cool safety feature because thieves won't realize this and they'll go to sell it, and this will help you get your guitar back. That is very cool. That is definitely a blacklight surprise. Now on here, it kind of looks like there might be a little bit of clear coat wear, but it does glow just a little less green in a few of these areas. But some of that could also be from shadows. But here you go here. The body is also in good shape. I'm very close to a wall, so that's why I am holding this in a weird way. It looks like we have a very small little ding right there in the finish. And now we will go along the edges here real quick. So overall, yes, this guitar does pass the blacklight test, and it shows us something very interesting. Alright, so after doing some research on the signature, I wanted to make sure that wasn't like a famous person or something, and I think the signature says Bernie Rico Jr. Now, he is the son of the founder of BC Rich Guitars, and usually he'll sign a guitar if he made it. He also makes his own line of guitars now. However, I read he kind of got into some trouble by taking orders and not fulfilling them in a timely manner because he got sick or something. So I don't know a lot about that drama, but I thought it'd be interesting to share. This guitar comes in a non-original hardshell case. I'm not really sure what these guitars usually come with, but this is a coffin case of some nature. It has some light wear and tear from usual storage, but for the most part it's in good shape. The interior is a very nice dark red velvet. It's definitely very coffin-like. I don't see anything really to make mention of. I mean, it's a decent case, but I'm a little sad because I was hoping this would open up to be like a compartment of some sort. But as you can see, if you do lift this up, you just see wood and padding. So I don't know if that was originally stitched in there or not. If you think you might be interested in this 7-string tremolo guitar, feel free to contact me on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Troglys, Troglys. Thank you, Troglytes, for watching, and I hope to see you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.